Welcome everyone to our channel. Today we're bringing you a thought-provoking reflection through a dialogue between Judas and Jesus about justice, power, and what it truly means to transform the world. Let's dive into this inspiring conversation together and explore how it still resonates in our lives today. Let's get started. The story begins with Judas. He is excited, his eyes shining, and his voice carries an almost fiery tone. He speaks of the injustices he witnesses and the failures in Jerusalem's governance. And then, almost as a confession, Judas says,
Master, have you ever stopped to think about how much our people suffer? The laws are unjust, and power only serves those who already have plenty. A revolution in Jerusalem might be the only solution. We have the people on our side, and I see a chance to change all of this.
Jesus, hearing Judas's words, remains calm, but decides to share a story that might offer a new perspective. He looks at Judas with a peaceful expression and begins,
There was an ancient king who was seen as so cruel by the people of his land that the kingdom's chief prophet was invited to lead a great rebellion to overthrow him from the throne.
And he accepted, right, Master? After all, no one should tolerate a tyrant king.
At first, the prophet didn't believe the people's accusations, but the crowd kept insisting. The king is ruthless, a cruel ruler who persecutes, takes what belongs to others, and mistreats his subjects throughout the kingdom, they shouted without hesitation. Thus, the well-meaning prophet also became inflamed and accepted the revolution as the only possible remedy. Silently, he began organizing it with a few hundred determined and courageous companions. On the eve of the uprising, however, fully trusting in God, he climbed to the top of a mountain and prayed with such faith for divine guidance that an angel from the heavens was sent to him for a spirit-to-spirit conversation. In the presence of the celestial messenger, the prophet accused the king, recounting everything he had heard and pleading for divine approval of the transformative revolt he had planned. The messenger observed his sincerity, listened patiently, and then clarified,
In the name of the Supreme Lord, the plan will be approved with one condition. You will live alongside the king for 100 consecutive days in his very palace in the role of a humble and faithful servant. After this period, if your conscience still holds to the purpose, then you will destroy the throne with our support.
But Master, what would he have to gain from that? He already knew the injustices.
The honest leader accepted the proposal and followed the directive. Simple and sincere, he went to the royal palace where there were always cleaning tasks and took on the role of a discreet servant. However, as soon as he began serving the monarch, he realized that the king never found time for the smallest duties related to the pleasures of life. He would rise surrounded by bothersome advisors and ministers and was tormented hour after hour by hundreds of complaints. As a father, he was deprived of the tenderness of his children. As a husband, he lived distanced from his companion. Moreover, he was often forced to sacrifice his physical health due to endless banquets and ceremonies, in which he was made to listen to all kinds of lies from flattering and ungrateful subjects. He never slept or ate at the proper times, and wherever he was forced to watch every word, allowing no spontaneous expression of life, except for the artifice that suffocated his heart.
So he was like a prisoner on his own throne, Master?
Exactly. The leader of the people realized that the sovereign was more like a slave, severely condemned to serve without rest, in complete spiritual solitude, as the king didn't even have the freedom to seek communion with God through simple prayer. At the end of the appointed time, the prophet, deeply transformed, returned to the mountain to fulfill his commitment. When the angel appeared during his prayers, he asked for mercy for the king, for whom he now felt a sincere compassion.
So the revolution was abandoned?
Yes, Judas. The prophet recognized that rebellion would be a mistake. Then he gathered the people and informed all his like-minded companions that the sovereign was, perhaps, the most tormented man in the entire kingdom. Instead of the desired rebellion, he called on each person to have greater understanding and to contribute with constructive work in their own role in the country, so that the monarch, so enslaved and unhappy in his position, could fulfill the high mission entrusted to him without disaster, and so rebellion was transformed into understanding and service.
Judas, disappointed, seemed to be preparing some irreverent remark, but the divine master interrupted him, speaking with firmness.
The revolution is always the tragic delusion of those who seek to wrest the scepter of power from others. When each servant understands the duty that is theirs in the plan of life, there is no room for indiscipline, nor time for insubordination.
And so, history teaches us that often appearances can be deceiving. What seems to be the oppressor may, in fact, be the most burdened, and what we imagine to be the solution may not be the right remedy. The prophet, as he passed by the palace, understood that the true path was not revolt, but understanding and service to others. Change begins within us, and in the small daily actions, in the duty we have to contribute to a greater good, not seeking destruction, but rather transformation. If you enjoyed this reflection, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell to receive more content like this. Share this message with those you think need to hear it, and remember, the true revolution begins in the heart of each one of us. See you in the next video.